Hello, welcome to my Easy Statistics. Please like, share and subscribe the channel. If you need data for your research, I will provide customized data as per your research requirements. Contact me through email or WhatsApp. In part 5, we will discuss about EFA and CFA, Exploratory Factor Analysis and Confirmatory Factor Analysis. We will discuss about introduction to EFA and CFA and specifying and estimating CFA models in Amos, assessing factor loadings, interpreting and reporting CFA results in Amos. So before we start CFA, Confirmatory Factor Analysis, we will discuss about Exploratory Factor Analysis. Exploratory Factor Analysis is a statistical technique used in data analysis to identify the underlying structure or latent variable in a set of observed variables. Now when we have data and we don't have an idea how this data is distributed into different components, then we must first do exploratory factor analysis, right? If we already have an idea how these observed variables are grouped into different constructs, then we can directly do CFA. We don't need to do EFA. EFA must be done only to understand or identify the underlying structure or the underlying latent variables within these observed variables. It is commonly employed to uncover the underlying dimension or factors that explain the pattern of correlation among a set of observed variables. The goal of EFA is to reduce a large number of observed variables into a small number of unobserved variables or factors while retaining the maximum amount of information present in the data. So to understand the distribution, how these observed variables are getting grouped into different components, we need to do exploratory factor analysis. If already we have a model which is proved and we know the constructs, then we don't need to do this exploratory factor analysis. We can directly do the confirmatory factor analysis. I'll show you an example, okay, and we'll discuss that example. After that we will discuss about CFA model. This is a SPSS file related to TAM model, that is technological acceptancy model. In this we have three constructs are there: perceived ease of use, perceived usefulness and intention to use. So this data is collected for college students regarding their opinion to use the college website. So the first three questions are related to perceived usefulness of the website, and next four questions are related to perceived ease of use of the website, and the next four variables are related to intention to use the website. Now we already know how these components are forming. We are expecting that the first three variables are part of perceived usefulness, and the next three variables four variables are related to perceived ease of use, and the next four variables, that is IU1, IU2, IU3 and IU4, these are related to intention to use the website. Since we know that these variables, observed variables, are forming into different components, first three observed variables are forming into one construct called as perceived usefulness. Next four components, next four observed variables are forming into perceived ease of use component, and next four observed variables are forming into intention to use. So if you already have an idea, we don't need to do exploratory factor analysis. Directly we can do confirmatory factor analysis. So let us see, using this data, how we are going to do the confirmatory factor analysis in SPSS Amos. Confirmatory factor analysis is a statistical technique used to test a pre-specified factor structure or model based on theoretical expectations. Unlike exploratory factor analysis, which aims to discover the underlying factor structure, CFA is to confirm or validate a hypothesized factor structure. In CFA, researcher proposes a specific factor model with a predetermined number of factors and their associated indicators. The goal is to assess how well the observed variables align with the proposed factor structure and to evaluate the fit of the model to the data. That is, if we already know the constructs, like how many variables are going to form the unobserved variable, we can directly use the CFA model. This is SPSS Amos file. First, I will drop the CFA model for this TAM model, that is technological acceptancy model. So we already decided that perceived usefulness has 3 observed variables. Okay, so for drawing the CFA model, you need to select this icon. This is called draw a latent variable or add an indicator to a latent variable. So select this icon and click on the canvas. 1. So we got 1 observed variable, 2, 3. So because perceived usefulness has only 3 observed variables. Next, perceived easy of use. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, intention to use. We have 4 observed variables. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now select this, rotate the indicators and rotate it to right side. Rotate it. Okay. Now we have rotated the model. Now what we need to do is we will label them. Before doing this, we will add the file. Select this icon to select the data file. Here select the file name, and this file is on my desktop, that is a TAM dataset. Open, and you can see this is a TAM dataset and the number of sample is 389. Click OK. Now click this one to see the list of variables. Now these are the list of variables. Now what we can do is we can drag and drop each observed variable into the location. Just drag and drop. Very easy to do. Drag and drop. And P1, P2, P3 and P4. Next, intention to use. IU1, IU2, three and 4. Right. Now this PU1, PU2, PU3 are related to perceived usefulness. 3 observed variables will give a relevant name to the latent variable. This latent variable, which is also called as unobserved variable. Double click on that and enter as PU. And this is PE. And here IU, intention to use. So we got the names. Now what we will do is we will add correlation between these latent variables. Select this icon, draw covariances, select it and drop it. Select it and drop here. Yeah. And between PU and IU also. Now we have completed the diagram of CAF. Now here we have E1, E2, E3. We can give the names to these error variables also. Double click on that one and say as E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6, E7, E8, E9, E10 and last E11. We can do this automatically from the plugin also. In the plugin we have name unobserved variables. So automatically system will name all the unobserved variables also. But here for the first time we are drawing this one, I want to show it manually also. You can fill this one. Now let me make this graph in the middle. For select all, the model is totally selected. Now select move variable and make it the center. Now deselect it. Now the model is done. Now you want to touch up, you can select this touch up icon and say like this, and everything is touched up. Now we will save this file as CFA file, CFA. Okay, click save. When we save it, it will be saved with the extension of AMW. Now our CFA model is ready. Now this CFA model, in this CFA model, the relationship what you are seeing here, this is called as a measurement model. This is called as a measurement model. Let us first see what is measurement model and how many types of measurement models are there. Then we will start calculating the model. A measurement model is a statistical model that explains the relationship between observed variables and the latent construct or factors. It helps researcher understand how the observed variables are related to the underlying constructs they are intended to measure. So measurement model is a statistical model that explains the relationship between observed variables and the latent constructs. There are two types of measurement models. One is a reflective measurement model, the other one is formative measurement model. When you see this model, the first one, this is a reflective model, which indicates that in a reflective model, the observed variables are seen as indicators or reflection of the latent constructs. It means the low mood, anxiety, bad sleep, these three observed variables are forming as one unobserved variable, which is called overall mental health. Overall mental health is formed with a combination of low mood, anxiety and bad sleep. This measurement model is called reflective measurement model. And already we discussed measurement model is nothing but relationship between unobserved variables to the observed variables. What is unobserved variable here? Overall mental health. Observed variables are low mood, anxiety and bad sleep. So low mood, anxiety, bad sleep are forming as overall mental health. You can see the arrow marks. From overall mental health, the arrow marks are going towards the observed variables. This is called reflective measurement model. Coming to formative measurement model, in a formative model, the observed variables are viewed as components or formative indicators that define the latent constructs. It is low mood, anxiety, bad sleep. These are observed variables which are impacting the unobserved variable. That is a need for support. Need for support is an unobserved variable which is getting impacted by the observed variable low mood, anxiety and bad sleep. So in this diagram, we can observe that the relationship between observed variables and unobserved variables are called as measurement models, and these measurement models are reflective measurement model. Now what we will do is we will calculate the estimates. You'll click this button, calculate estimate. Once I select calculate estimate, you can see this is activated. View the output path diagram. Now when I click view the output path diagram, we got unstandardized estimations, and standardized estimations we're not getting. So what we need to do, we need to go to analysis properties. In analysis properties, in the output menu, you need to select this button called standardized estimations and close this window and again calculate estimate. Now click this button, view output diagram. Now we can see the view text. in view text, when you select this estimations, here we can understand the weights of each observed variable on the unobserved variable. If the p-value is less than 0.05, they are having significant loadings. Okay, now you can see the standardized regression weights. These standardized regression weights are nothing but factor loadings. Now you can see how much is PU1 loading on PU, PU2 and PU3. The factor loadings must be more than 0.5. So you can observe here all are having more than 0.5. Next is the covariances. Covariances between the unobserved variable or latent variable. If the p-value is less than 0.05, they are having significant covariance between the latent variable. Here p-value is given as star mark. Star is nothing but 0.00. 0.00 is nothing but less than 0.05. So there is a significant covariance between the latent variables. And see the correlation. This is a correlation between the latent variables. Between PU and PE, it is 0.487. Between PE and IU, it is 0.395. And between PU and IU, it is 0.338. So there is a more correlation between perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use, that is 0.487. In this video, we have discussed about exploratory factor analysis and confirmatory factor analysis and how to draw this confirmatory factor analysis, and the settings need to be done. And we have seen the estimations also, that is the loadings of the observed variable on the unobserved variable is also discussed. Now next we need to discuss about the model fit. In the next video, we will discuss about different model fit indices. Thank you.